Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. All right, you're good to go.
Thank
You know who
you.
Judy is? That's on there last time, and nobody ever responded.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who Judy is.
I'm wondering if it's real. I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, you let me know if somebody pops up on there,
We had
okay?
quite a surprise at the Parks Board meeting one time.
Yes, you did.
On that topic, I think.
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order, Monday, May 18th, 2026. Hello, everybody. Do we have a May secretary volunteer?
I will do it
Oh, good, Deb. Thank you, Deb.
this time, unless there's a fire.
Unless there's a fire.
Then I'll let Corey do it again.
She takes good notes anyway.
Oh, great. Okay, if you look over the notes that I tried to send you yesterday, but did not, but I just, or the minutes, and I sent you, I just gave you a hard copy. Anything there that,
Oh, this is for last week's minutes, okay. I did get, a change made on the, I guess, we don't need to talk about that now.
They look good.
I
We
think they
okay?
look good, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
motion to approve,
I move.
Mary Dell,
A second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, got it. Public comments on agenda items. I think you guys are here for the, for some new business stuff. Could we hold off on your comments till then? Okay, good, because we're gonna roll through this other stuff really quickly. The first thing, old business update on Roman Theater PSAs. I've been in contact with Becky Larson, and, they had the play last weekend. They've been just frantic with the play. They're gonna start very soon. Okay. Okay? So, and she got our additions and corrections, and all is good. Okay?
Yep.
Republic Services contract, we have no news as far as I know. Dave is, out of town, so, no news. Okay?
You
Bear
don't
Committee
have
news,
anything, Jeremy.
we're in the process of putting stickers, you should notice them all in your bid. And I promised you stickers from last week, so I apologize.
Well, I am
everybody.
happy to stick them on my neighbors,
How much got done?
can.
Did you do?
Actually,
more?
the kids did, they logged, oh crap, so let me get this, I wanna get this straight. They logged, 63, human hours, putting stickers out so far, and 5 hours prep, getting the maps and the bags and such ready, okay? So that's, 70-plus hours, and they got the whole valley done,
Okay.
and you'll walk around and see an occasional can that
Doesn't.
doesn't have one, so.
I took 3 stickers, because my can's not in the alley, because I don't have an alley. And I have a couple neighbors, same thing, so I took 3 stickers.
Oh, yeah,
I'll be
perfect.
happy to do my street up on the west bench.
Great.
Yep.
Let
And
me get
more.
some-
Yep.
And, she has the golf course will be the last push, she says. I think she has a plan.
Monday is our day.
Yep, she knows that. She,
Okay.
and Kate Belinda is on it. She
Okay.
is all
Good.
over
Yeah.
it. She's all over it, so,
Who wants
Yeah.
to attract a bear to their street?
exactly,
Not me.
exactly.
Yep. Thank you.
Roger, did you get one of these?
No.
You want one?
Good one.
There you go.
Thank
So I have a question
Oh, you know.
about Bear Aware.
Yep.
We're on Bear Aware now, right?
Sure.
Okay. If you wanted to, exhaust your cooking odors, outside, is that okay?
I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
Cooking what?
If you wanted to do what?
Your steak grilling inside.
But you're cooking in
you're
the house?
cooking, yeah.
No.
And you have, so
I would
our fan
consider-
just sort of, doesn't really do a very good job of recirculating, so if you put some, an exhaust to the outside.
You gotta do what you can do.
Yeah.
I think unless you're cooking donuts, which they would love, I think,
Or caramel
I'm
corn.
not, or caramel corn, I don't think, come on,
I've seen
they're not gonna be around, probably.
Right,
I wouldn't, I wouldn't worry about
And
it.
you
So-
might want to consider locking your first floor windows at night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put bars.
While you're eating.
So, somebody posted on Red
If you
Lodge
think there's an
Buzz,
odor.
Yeah.
did y'all see that? A pile of garbage, trash. It was obviously on the west bench somewhere. We still can't quite, you could see the airport hangars in the background.
Mhm.
It was a big yard.
They need to let the city know.
Well, I don't know who, Schulte? Schulte, Rita Schulte?
What people need to do
You think
is
that's,
get the
Homeowners
address
or-
and let
No,
the city
she
know.
was the
Yeah.
one who cleaned it up,
Reported.
apparently.
I think that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, and we still can't figure out, it has to be over there,
Yeah.
you know, right on the edge
Okay,
of the west bench, you know, looking that way, but,
okay.
Remember the Bear Aware meeting at the senior center? I think you were there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I thought I took a picture of their names,
Mhm.
and I thought
I
that
did.
that was a resource to call
Yeah.
when you had,
Fish and
Actually,
Wildlife, Fish, Wildlife, and
actually,
Parks.
if there is a
Mm.
bear incident, you call dispatch.
Okay,
If there
Well,
is a bear incident,
yeah, so someone also down in the.
a non-aggressive bear incident.
Yeah, Alpine Village, you know.
Yep,
The old pit, their wildlife camera caught a young bear, you know, knocking a can around. It did not come open. And my neighbor's can was, she has two. One of them was knocked on its side, pretty far from where she had it, you know, sitting. And we had some gusty wind, so it could have been the wind, but we weren't sure.
there is, apparently an older bear that's been around for a long time that works, this side for the most part.
Yeah.
And then there's a younger bear that works up that way, and
Yeah.
that's all the bears that the, Fish and Wildlife know about in
Okay.
town. July is Bear 30 month. That's when we get, Red Lodge gets a lot of bears,
Well.
for whatever reason.
This looked, you know, it had the hump, it looked like a young grizzly bear, but I
hmm,
don't know.
shoot.
It was, you know, dark and
Yeah,
their
I know.
wildlife camera caught it, so.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, okay, well, I will,
I will let you know. I can't remember if you call you call dispatch if it's a,
if you see
if
it.
there's not an encounter, if there's not something
Right.
life-threatening or,
Right,
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
So,
And that number is 1, 2, 3, 4?
I think so,
4, 4,
yeah.
6, 1,
Mhm.
2, 3, 4?
okay. Anyway, okay,
Thank
they're around, they're our neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you can see the logo of this committee is protect yourself, protect the bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bear huggers, but
Maybe,
just,
you know, protect
protect yourself,
protect
protect
your
the bear.
neighbors.
Yes.
You know, protect your street. Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to attract bears to their streets.
Right.
I don't
No.
think. Okay.
Okay, I'm moving on to citywide, solar data collections.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened with this. Where are we with this?
We were going to meet with
Mike
Henry
was gonna-
Dykema, but
yeah.
I think Mike was gonna set that up,
Right.
and it hasn't happened yet, so
Need to see
we just need to
Mike in the
know.
meeting.
Does
Yeah.
someone want to be in charge of that and figure out how to do that? Someone want to
Try
volunteer?
and take it on, I guess.
Okay, thanks, Angie.
Yeah. So,
I'll show you what we
Maybe-
have at the pool. And,
Talk to Mike.
I think,
and it's just once a year, this is how many kilowatt hours were used and then how many kilowatt hours were used by the solar
We
thing.
have this
in another
great
year.
app for our solar. I
Mhm.
mean, it tells you everything.
well,
Yeah.
I got the impression that when Mike was at that meeting, my first meeting ever,
Yeah,
he said they had an app, but they weren't
it wasn't
able
working.
to figure out how
Yeah.
to make it work.
Right.
Or it wasn't working or something.
Maybe it's
and-
because they have so many different sites.
Users? Oh,
I don't
maybe.
know.
I talked to Jay West, and he was involved in the solar, he knew about the app to check the solar panels on the roof of the community church,
Mhm.
and he uses it.
Yeah.
And he did say
Okay, good.
that I jokingly said, we might have to get a high school kid to come show us. He goes, well, that's what we did.
Exactly.
And then he said, that it didn't always work though, and sometimes it would like work on his phone, but then not work on someone else's. So but he said that their app might not be the same as the app that the city has.
Will you check with Mike Maples and get back to us?
Yeah, and see, I mean, I'm happy to help with data collection.
Me
She
too.
still wanted to set up a meeting with Henry, to sort of train us as to what to do.
Yeah,
And if
I
app isn't
remember-
working, we can just go right to the meter. We can read the meter. So if we know where those are.
Right. I remember when Alan was on the
Mhm.
board, he, you know, just anecdotally checked with some businesses, I think, in town that had gotten solar, just to see, well, how's that working for you? And I remember him saying Cafe Regis was like, ours is not working, or something. And so, you know, how do we, is there some way that we can help places that got solar and then they don't really know if it's working or not? Because if you don't have the app, I don't know how you know. if it's
Yeah, I guess
What
once
is
we
it?
figure out how to use the ones we have.
Yeah,
we can
check
try and
your,
help other people.
That would be the one I'd be getting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, never mind.
But we don't know.
And I don't even know who all, this was during, Solarize 59068, I think, so that was what, 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of places got solar, but, you know, do they even know? if it's
Well, let's do
Wait.
first things first. Let's
Okay.
figure out how to
Yeah.
collect the data.
The city?
And then we
Yeah.
can spread that
Maybe-
knowledge to, maybe we could publicize it or make it
Make it
available
Yeah.
to people
Yeah.
That would be
and
good.
see how it works.
Steve, did you?
Well, I was just gonna say, we put solar system on our house, and it's pretty gee whiz, and there's a lot of
It is.
electronics. But a simple way, what I've been doing, a simple way to see if it's working, is compare it to a year where you didn't have solar.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep a little spreadsheet,
Do you?
yeah.
I'll
So I have a
tell-
base month, which was the last month, or the last year we didn't,
I'll tell my husband, he'll like that.
well, it's simple, because
Well, that's, yeah.
you know, I'm challenged, so.
Yeah.
Roger, did you wanna say something?
We need an app.
We have an app too that came with the company gave us,
Right,
and ours are on our garage, but, you know, so I check it. I used to check it all the time when I first got it, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
now, you know, now you check it every once
when
in
the
a while.
bill comes in and it's
Yeah.
reasonable, yeah.
So, I mean, so that tells you, you know, how many kilowatt hours and everything you're saving and everything.
Right.
But also Northwest Energy,
Yeah.
when you get your bill,
Yeah.
Right.
they'll tell you how
Bill
many,
has
you
all
know,
that.
how many kilowatt hours are credited
Credit, yeah.
into your account. You should, if you have Northwest Energy as your supplier, you should know if it's working or not.
I'm sure Bears probably does a similar.
Right, they probably do.
Yeah.
I
With
don't
the
know how
city
that-
though, I get the impression from that information that Jeff collected, that the bills are not easy to sort through to figure out which
There's so
one is from which
many
building
of
and
them,
how.
yeah.
That's why if you just have the meter, you can just read the meter
Yeah.
every year,
And so let me clarify with you.
like in June of every year,
What you
whatever.
want me to do. So talk to Mike and find out about the app.
Yeah, find out if the app and find out if,
Is
each city building, we're worried about city buildings right now,
Right.
like the recycling center.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The library,
The,
the pool.
The Public Works Building.
right,
Mhm.
okay. Is the data being collected on an annual basis to see what kind of savings there is
Yeah,
in, not only in electricity, but also in money?
money. Money.
And if they're not, we were willing to help. And if the app is a hassle, if you just show it each site, we can just,
We can do that, we can collect the data, it's just a matter of,
if the bill is too complicated to go.
Well,
Yeah.
even having the grand total from Northwestern Energy of just citywide, it would be
That's
useful
true.
to know.
Like, we got a before and
Who
after.
cares, you know, necessarily if it's parsed out by building.
well, that's probably true,
It'd be better
because
than
the
what we
solar
have
in
now.
the solar at the pool
Mm.
is not used, 9 months of the year or whatever, but I'm sure that solar is being used
Well-
elsewhere.
But I wonder, is
Oh.
it plugged into the grid?
Yeah.
So like, is it feeding
Yes.
year round?
It
I think it is.
should be feeding.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I think it depends on who your utility is too. I don't know anything about Beartooth, but I would think if it's Northwest Energy, it's feeding year round.
I would
Yeah.
Well,
hope so.
I mean,
They were the ones that put it up.
So we should
Or
be
there was a
getting
grant,
credits for the pool,
Yes.
right? because it's not using any energy, and so all that's being credited is going back to the grid.
Mhm.
Right,
Right. So,
it should be.
yes,
So
that
there should be some
saving.
paperwork where we can just add it up.
Yeah,
I
we
would
just
think.
wanna make sure that, the council
It's
can
working.
justify, all this money that
And that
they
it's
put into
working.
solar
Yep.
on all their buildings, and we're
Yep.
just trying to
And
say,
if
hey,
they're
look,
not-
it's working.
And
Yep.
if one isn't working, let's get it fixed.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if nobody's looked at them for
Yep,
a year or whatever.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe there was something that.
Okay, we're gonna move on, we got a lot to do. Chamber windows budget recommendation, I
Let's do
think we decided last month that we were thinking about, yes, we would like to recommend that to the council, but we need, information from the chamber, specific,
Yes,
how much it is,
and they want their, a back door,
Oh,
they want
Chamber
two, they
Commons.
need two exits,
Yeah.
they need another exit,
There's no door there currently,
Right.
so someone would have to cut a hole and put in the door.
right.
I'm not sure if that's a
That's not an
sustainability,
energy saver.
I don't think
No.
And
that's more of a
Yeah, okay,
safety thing, so I
Right.
think that's not
Okay.
something this board can,
right, but, you could take where a window is and,
and then it would work, okay.
yeah, but anyway, yeah.
so
Okay,
was this going to be for us to recommend to the council that
It would be to
resort
the,
tax money be used for?
no, it's not
Budget.
for the budget, city budget,
City budget.
Right out of the city.
right, so,
We just need some information.
something, I will do that, because I know Sherry and have dealt with her in the past.
Okay.
I will do that and get specifics, and we'd have to give it to, I think, well, certainly Jeremy from here, and then admin and finance, I assume, and at least get it on the table.
Right.
Okay, city sustainability website, how you doing, Angie?
So I talked to Danae, she was super nice and said, yeah, let me know anything that you need changes. I didn't go back and look yet, but she was
Yeah.
gonna put you on
I
there.
checked, I looked yesterday.
And it was-
great.
okay.
and We're all updated, and yeah, thank you, thank you.
And then I looked a little deeper on some of the other things that seemed out of date, and they were somewhat common sense. I mean, everybody pretty much knows there's no rebates or
Mm-hmm.
incentives available. And when you click on it, it just tells you this page is not available anymore. So it's not like it's giving false information or
Okay.
anything.
Sure.
And then I did find a lot of really great information of things that have happened over the years and
Mm-hmm.
reports to council from past,
Mm-hmm.
the group that was helping us. I don't think it was Vistas, but, Work
Oh.
Energy Corps.
Energy
Yeah.
Corps.
Mm-hmm. That's under AmeriCorps.
Okay. So there's really a lot of good, and so I haven't, other than getting Julie and Jeremy listed on there, I haven't
And yourself.
found, yeah, that was on there.
Oh, good.
That
Okay.
somehow got through.
So what you're saying is that there's still work to be done?
Maybe.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
What I was about to say is at this point, I haven't seen anything else that really has to change. I think
Okay.
I think that information that's on there is good to keep it on there.
Okay.
And
Oh,
the websites where you can't go to a page, I don't know if it, I mean, hopefully incentives and rebates will come back and we can.
Oh, yeah, true, maybe we can put them back on one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or,
maybe just leave
or the
them.
webpage will
Yeah.
pop back up or something.
Mhm.
So I kind of feel like that's completed.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
So if you'll just keep an eye on it, that would be
Okay,
great.
Yeah, and there's more stuff on there I'd like to look at too, so I'll
Okay,
be in
perfect.
and out of there when I have time.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Earth Day, Arbor Day events, Mary Dell, you were gonna talk to Mr. Parks Board and find out if you guys have any sort of plans and how this board can be helpful.
Well, we do. We talk, Earth Day being in April, it's always,
Doesn't work here.
crapshoot, with the weather. And so we know that we need to do an Arbor Day event in order to continue to be a tree city. You have to at least plant a tree.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so we're talking about doing that.
You have to have a mayor's proclamation.
Right, the mayor has to read a proclamation. You know, just to maybe moving it to, June or even into the fall. You can plant trees, I think, in the fall. And we still have some trees from the big Arbor Day event that we did. We're also possibly going to have some trees from the tennis courts. We're hopeful that those, we'll try moving them anyway. And we learned at a recent meeting from the Urban Renewal District, and then taking some ideas from citizens about the new park, the half acre we have on the old Rocky Fork property, that we can plant trees. So, and you can have some open-sided structures that, you know, water would maybe hopefully flow through. So, that was some, you know, FEMA has to approve stuff. You have to submit a plan to them, but they took, this group from Kansas City Kansas State took our ideas about the park, and they presented their information about the north side of town, what they had gathered there. That's online.
Who's Kansas State?
Kansas State came there. They have a brownfield.
They're centered at a Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do like 8 states or something like that all around.
Yeah.
So they came and gathered information, then they came back to present what they had,
Gathered information on their urban renewal district.
on the north part, the north part of town. Sorry, and then we also talked, they gathered information about the new park area. So we could have a parking lot, we could even have restrooms.
Don't think we need a parking lot.
Well, it would be tiny. Restrooms, we could do trees, we could do a gazebo, you could have benches. So but then, you know, then FEMA would have to approve all that. But
Yeah,
I'll
I was
just say
gonna
that we
say,
could put some of these trees there, and fulfill our Tree City obligation.
Perfect.
So,
Where are
anyway,
the trees that you said we still have?
I don't know. Do you remember,
Well,
Roger?
Are they planted somewhere?
No, they're up at
We have a couple
Baldwin.
sources of trees, yeah, but there were trees we were gonna plant last season. We got too late in the year, and Baldwin was supposed to take care of them over the winter. There's just a handful of those trees. Mike isn't sure what kind of condition they are coming out of the winter, so he's gonna take a look at that, and he can make an assessment of how well they're doing. The other trees we talked about were the ones at the proposed tennis court site at Coal Miners Park. That's gonna be kind of iffy. I mean, if we can get 50% survival rate on transplanting the trees, I think that would be amazing, you know. I would expect less than 50%, but it's probably worth a try anyway. And there are some areas that are fairly close by that we could make a quick transfer from the present site to another site nearby. One of those sites might involve, would involve permission by the school district to be on their property. But getting back to what Mary Dale said, you know, we have climatic challenges for Earth Day and Arbor Day in this area, so, the National Arbor Day really doesn't care necessarily when you do Arbor Day. You can do it whenever it fits your climate and your weather conditions. So as long as we're in the growing season, even into the fall, as Mary Dale said, fall's a really good time to plant trees.
Well, we've got the September 10th Sustainability Festival going on.
And June is probably coming up too fast for us.
Right,
Yeah.
so we have not picked a date
No, we
yet.
haven't picked the date.
And,
We have one individual who's interested on our board who's gonna head it up, and I was just gonna suggest if you had ideas, we could work with you too, at this board too as well. I mean, there is a strong nexus between sustainability, of course, and
Sure.
Arbor Day, and
How about having that individual come to our next sustainability board meeting?
yeah, I'll ask her.
Okay.
That's Sarah Thorson.
Sarah Thorson.
And so I'll ask her, I sent her an email yesterday about this meeting, but I probably didn't receive it in time.
Okay.
It might be
So
nice
we'll
to
be-
combine it with something so it's
Yeah.
bigger than just the mayor.
Well, yeah.
Will we plan to get
So-
for either fall or next year then? Because if it's not done before next meeting,
I would think,
middle
Fall,
of June.
it's gonna be fall.
It'll be fall.
It'll be
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah. Which is a good segue to New Business Sustainability Festival in September. You all have this, the Sustainability Board, or the Sustainability, this committee is interested in getting vendors. They have, a bunch of vendors right now.
Where is
This is gonna be at the Roosevelt Center.
Where is Bitterroot Botanical?
It is,
Stephanie,
Nefto, and she's kind of spearheading this.
Here.
Yeah, she's here, right in here in Red Light. And, they're gonna have, and she's willing to come to our next meeting and
Okay.
explain more about it.
Oh,
How's that sound?
Maybe she should
Great.
come to Parks Board too.
yeah, that might be.
What's
a good
her
time
name?
to
Might
do
be
it.
all
Stephanie
right.
Naftal, Naftal?
PAL, I think.
Yeah.
and what I got from looking at, I found this on Facebook, I think it was, she wanted to try and find people who wanted to set up booths
Mm-hmm.
to make it a bigger
Mm-hmm.
event, and I kind of wondered if we wanted to be out there with talking about recycling or some of the things that we're trying to
Absolutely.
educate the
Yeah,
public
finally
on.
get some bags from the public, yeah.
You think?
So let's put this on the agenda for next time, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, last thing, Northwest Energy PERC filing. I love PERC.
Me too.
Oh, my gosh.
That was complicated.
That was complicated. Jeremy, will you give us some background on this and
Yeah.
why this sustainability board is involved and what the council would like
Yeah.
from us?
Yeah, so this is even on our radar, even on council's radar, because Brad Molnar, who's on the Public Service Commission, came and gave us a little,
Can you hear him over there?
sorry,
Come on.
gave us a letter template.
Just move up and join us.
We'll move.
We're a really happy family here.
Yeah, come up.
Anyway,
Pull up a chair.
he gave us a brief presentation to council, 3.5 minutes or whatever,
Right.
with quite a attachment of documents that I think you guys
94 pages.
were sent, yeah,
Yeah,
which I didn't expect anybody to read fully, but like, essentially, the ask from Brad was that for council to support this letter, in opposition to the Colstrip,
Merger.
Purchase.
yeah, the purchase, and then there's separately the Black Hills
Mm-hmm.
merger,
Right.
all of which is sort of under the umbrella of power-hungry data centers and how those might impact communities.
Right.
So, council was like, we're not sure we have the knowledge to support this letter. We don't know whether what you're bringing us is accurate. So in my mind, I think this board might look at data centers and power requirements of them in general, and maybe, if you're willing, kind of keep your eyes open for those opportunities to provide comment, because it is a more powerful message if council as a whole votes and sends, a letter to a Public Service Commission or the FERC, whatever it may be. But this is going to be probably an ongoing, thing as things are being built in various places.
Right.
So in part, my suggestion was to just ask you guys if you wanted to take that up as sort of a rolling education You know, if you want to make the recommendation to council that, hey, we should probably have an opinion on this.
And
Well,
this
yeah.
specific one is about, the rehearing, isn't it?
It's a rehearing. Yep. Do you have more information?
Well, my impression is, and I don't know, it might be too late to
It
comment
looks like
on.
It is not too late.
Okay,
Okay, good.
there were
I think-
hearings going on, and it's the discussion of Black Hills and Northwest Energy merger. And in my opinion, if you talk to either of them, you might get a different answer. But it's, well, number one, it seems to me like it's a way for people with money to invest in and make more money, and it's really not gonna benefit the ratepayers
No.
much. I mean, we'll get energy that we pay for, but we're not gonna get any deals. And I feel like it's also them combining resources to help produce more energy to supply data centers as well.
And charging them a different rate.
And what I don't
That is the
understand
piece
is
of it. I don't know
why,
if that's in the hearing or not.
what I don't understand is why a data center would be charged a lesser rate, because they're a for-profit.
They are a for-profit.
They're
Somebody's making a
for-profit,
lot of
so
money
why
off
would ratepayers?
of them. Because they
Yeah.
asked,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well,
Okay,
And maybe they
Steve has
said,
done some research, so maybe he's
we're
got
buying
some
out
comments
so
too.
many, we're buying in bulk, so can you give us a better price possibly? I'm guessing at why that would be, but.
Yeah.
Northwestern Energy, as well as Black Hills Energy, are investor-owned
Right.
entities.
Mm-hmm,
They're there to make a profit.
mm-hmm.
They see that, growth might help their bottom line. They'll have more investors. But what's interesting is that, well, what is the purpose of the merger? Northwestern Energy has plenty of power available to serve its 400,000 customers. They have access to 760 megawatts that were all served very well. A merger would create more capacity. Why would they want more capacity?
Data centers.
And my opinion is, and all the reading I've done, is data centers. What's interesting is Northwestern Energy's leadership in this application to the PSC for the merger has refused to answer the data centers this is to the PSC, are the reason behind it. But if you'll indulge me, I can read a couple of quotes. In an investor call early this year in 2026, so for-profit company, they want more people buying their stock, they want more investors in the company. In this investor call, to try and attract more investment, they mentioned 14 proposed data centers. 14. The CEO of
Is this Northwest Energy or Northwest Energy and Black Hills?
Just Northwest Energy.
Just Northwest, great.
Northwest Energy, its CEO's name is Brian Bird. On August 19th, 2025, said, I'm quoting, a merger with Black Hills would help the two companies to be more competitive in the race to capture data center opportunities and be able to make strategic investments in growing demand for energy, including data centers. So in my opinion, what I've read is that the reason for the merger in Northwest Energy and probably Black Hills is data centers. So then we get this whole discussion, as you brought up, about are data centers positive or a negative.
Okay, so I've got the Black Hills merger, but the letter at the end, I thought was about, buying the 370 kilomegawatt, whatever is from PPL out of Colstrip. And that out of the Public Service Commission's hands now, it's gone right to FERC. So what I
FERC?
thought Fred Mulder wanted,
Pacific Power and Light, is that?
yeah, I think so, yeah.
No,
Puget Sound.
Puget
Sound.
That's it, yeah. So I
Maybe it
think,
used to be.
I thought what Brad was asking the council,
Yeah.
us, was to have FERC rehear the decision to allow them to, sell those water
The shares of Colstrip to,
under market tariff rather than regulatory.
That's true, and I think they haven't ruled on that yet.
Okay, so that is a place we still could
Comment.
comment. But the Black Hills, so that, I didn't read that part. That part still sits with the Public Service Commission?
Currently,
does.
it's
So, okay.
And they will more than
Okay.
likely approve it.
Oh, I'm sure that will, but we could put input anyway at this point.
We still could, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
This 370 megawatts you're talking about, that's from Colstrip 3 and 4,
right,
Mhm.
which is not being used right now.
right.
Oh,
Coal-fired energy is,
on the wane.
thank you.
Yes, exactly.
that's why Puget Sound backed out, because they can't use the energy,
Right, because
because
Washington.
it's legislative,
Right.
voted
Yeah.
against.
Yep,
So they backed
Against
out, right?
coal-fired,
yep.
Exactly, but now under new,
So now
new-
Northwestern,
now under new relaxed regulations, this could be fired up again. And
right,
they
and
could make,
Northwestern would use it.
Northwestern would
Right.
certainly use it,
Okay, for what?
and,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What would they use it
no,
for?
they would, because they can,
It's not just gonna, for our price reductions, that's not what.
oh, no, they're going to give the idea, and if this letter is true, or this proclamation, or whatever you call it, is true, then they're going to give, like I said before, data centers a break,
Up right.
a break
Of
in
course
price.
they will.
Yeah.
Of course
And,
they will.
yes, and so, and the ratepayers, like all of us,
Subsidize it.
will certainly not get any reduction in our rate, and may
Bring
end
it
up
back online.
subsidizing.
Yeah.
So,
and our water and our air
Yeah.
are gonna get
well,
And
I mean,
that's
any
water.
How
small
many-
efforts that people, cities, personal people have made toward reducing their carbon footprint is gonna just be wiped out.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Water thing.
how many of you
Okay.
attended the CCRC meeting where they had the fellow from Montana Trout Unlimited come and talk about water?
I did.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I did. No,
Was that in the back room at the pizza?
Yeah.
No, I think it was.
Oh, that
at
was the
Roosevelt.
well.
What was that one?
Yeah.
That was
That was
yeah.
the will.
So well,
Anyway, he was talking about data centers with, regard to water. And he said, well, for them to get the water they're talking about, they have to go through all the steps that everyone has to go through. Dig a well, do this, do that. And he seemed very optimistic that they might not be able to get the water that they need for these data centers.
I've not
So
heard that, that's interesting.
it was very interesting. We need him to come back and give us part two.
Because
Um,
I'm skeptical. I like the sound
I'm
of that, but I'm skeptical.
well,
that-
he's,
Till they
he-
pay
won't
this is
get
what,
what they
Like to
want.
think
well,
that.
this is what this guy does, and he seemed pretty optimistic that they were gonna have to go through all the hoops
He
to
has
ensure
for fish and wildlife.
that they have the water to run these data centers. So it's
For
not
an-
just,
unlimited amount of time.
yes, it's not just the electricity issue, it is
Right.
also the water
Right.
issue. And so, yeah, when this meeting finished, I'm like, okay, he needs to come back for part two, because it was all about exempt wells. And so what you have to go through, anyway, it was, not just as an individual, but as a business or corporation, so,
Well,
we can
yeah.
hope.
right now, as we sit here, in the past 18 months, Northwestern Energy has signed agreements for 3 new data centers. One in Broadview,
Right,
north of us, That's gonna be up to 1,000 megawatts. Remember, Northwestern Energy's output to all its customers now is 760. So this one data center.
In Montana?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
well, no, all its customers, that's Montana.
All of it,
South Dakota, and-
all of its customers.
Wow.
And Nebraska.
Yep,
Oh, good grief.
Nebraska, South Dakota, and, parts of Montana.
Uh,
Broadview, again, is, well, what I've read, it's 500 to 1,000 megawatts. They have a signed agreement with them. The two in Butte, one is by Savvy Data is the name of the company. The other one is Atlas. Savvy Data is 250 megawatts. Butte is 150 megawatt system. So that's up to 1,400 more megawatts. That's double the output of Northwestern Energy's current.
And then we're using coal, so,
And they're
Oh,
using coal
right.
to reduce that.
Yeah.
The 370 megawatts
Yeah.
from Colstrip 3
Coal.
and 4.
But it's clean, beautiful coal.
Well, clean coal, that's a good point, Roger, right? You know.
That number 4 is such an old, I don't know if they could even retrofit it.
Well,
or with
I
the
thought they
rubbers and-
did.
Well,
Wasn't
with-
that
I think it's
part of the
retrofit, Deb, I
value
think, but
for the.
looking forward, here's another aspect of this. If this merger goes through and these agreements are signed, there's two things. One is maintenance on things like Colstrip. What cost is that gonna be in the future? As Deb said, it's very old. Well, guess who's gonna pay for that?
That's true.
I think that might be,
And they still don't have water collection safety.
no, and I've heard that, and I don't have specifics of which, data centers get this, but it's between 300,000 and 5 million gallons per day.
Well, you know,
That's per day.
it's hard to admit, and that's not recycled water, is that consumed?
Well, no, that's
Seems like they.
That's consumed. Now, there are systems, some data centers do have a system where they reuse.
Mm-hmm. It's hard,
But they need cooling towers, it's very energy inefficient.
yeah,
Of course, they're producing energy, so I guess they can.
it's hard to imagine how, they use a tremendous amount of water, and it's hard to imagine how any state that's in the Colorado River Compact,
Right,
which Montana isn't, but Wyoming is,
right.
it can really afford to build those and consume that type of water when Colorado
It's
is
incredible.
historic.
But going forward, what's driving the, all the stuff? Well, yeah, but I mean, it's demand for power because of the increase in AI.
Yeah,
Mhm,
So,
right.
so all these companies, back on, well, you with some other numbers,
All
but,
invested.
And they're the ones that are gonna profit from it.
Circular, it's all this circular investment they're doing, and they wanna get.
So I want
But
to
we
play,
need to
I want to play
decide
devil's advocate
if
for,
this is.
okay, yeah, I want to play devil's advocate for just a minute.
Okay.
Not that I necessarily agree with this, but I had some friends going through some, grant applications for high school students, and they had to write an essay, and they had probably, out of the 7, I'm gonna say, 5 of them were obviously AI generated, the essays. And so the, people looking at those grants, of course, people around our age said, out, you know, they didn't even write it themselves. And this other woman said, hey, wait a minute, that's what we said when cell phones came into existence. That's when we said, what we said when computers came into existence. They're gonna take the place of blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and I keep thinking that AI is here. AI is here. So I don't know what that means, but I do think
It's been here.
it's been here for quite a while,
Yes.
but now it's in our face.
In
Well,
response to that, and on this topic, if you're finished,
I am,
I feel
because I don't know
like-
where I'm going with
I
it.
feel
Somewhere dark.
Necessarily against
Like
AI, but against the fact that they aren't responsible for
The damn.
the energy. They're not responsible for,
The consequences.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to throw into this whole mix too is some of my reading, I've learned about are vertically integrated utilities. I had to look this up. And there are restructured utilities. And the vertically integrated utilities, it does say they're regulated, probably by the PSC, but it's a company that owns all the three primary parts, the electricity supply chain, the generation, and the transmission and distribution. And so no other small company can get into that. And with this merger, it's gonna be whatever states Black Hills has too, Colorado,
Dakota.
New Mexico.
Yeah, 8 states.
And a restructured are independent system operators, regional transmission organizers. So they're more of like a co-op of groups supplying the energy, but I think they use one grid. 2/3 of electricity users live in states with the independent system operators. So the other, the other part of 2/3. 1/3 are the vertically integrated utilities, and that's what we will be. We'll be a company that owns all aspects. And from my reading, I feel like vertically integrated utility systems make it harder for customers to access green power products, which is true in this state too, because there's things we can't do because, I guess we could go and try and change our state legislation to allow us to do more, but people want solar. We can't do a remote community solar for people like me that have giant shady trees from my neighbor's house, and I can't have it, so I would need to. So I feel like that this is a loss of the data centers, but the merger, I think, is not sustainable.
Another thing
I don't
about
think data centers are either.
sustainability is that right now there's this boom in AI. And the data centers that they think they need open AI have said they're going to invest $500 billion over the next 4 years.
Who's they?
Open AI.
They needed Sam Altman.
ChatGPT.
Just
Microsoft.
news today.
Microsoft, $80 billion in 2025. Now, Amazon, $10 billion for a data center in Ohio. Meta, $10 billion in data center in Louisiana. What I want to make is, it's just rocketing up. But as technology goes, it gets better, it gets more efficient. And there's the question of 10, 15 years down the road, is the demand for this much power still going to be there? Because as they get more efficient, as technology does, they learn how to do things better. Are they still going to need as much electricity?
And we all know technology changes daily.
It does. So, meanwhile,
And maybe they're moving a little too fast.
maybe, but could be, well, I think so, but but if this investment is made by, this merger happens, and they get locked into AI data centers, and then things change in the AI data center demand curve. And you know what, they're not really, don't need that much energy anymore, possibly. But we've already got these sunk costs, which we're paying on. Well, who's going to pay that?
Yeah, I thought Brad's point at the end of that letter was good. He said, I'm not really talking about data centers here because that's not what the topic was. Obviously, it is, but, you know, it's not spoken. But the effect on the ratepayer, that it's unequal, unfair to the ratepayer, and that's why I think a city council or a board would chime in, because it affects the population.
Okay, we're gonna look at the time here
Yeah.
because we're gonna get cut off.
We're out of time.
As far as online stuff and recording, we can continue this conversation. But I think what we need to do is get back to Jeremy and say,
Well, we're
what do you want, where do you want us to go? What's the ask? Thank you.
So in my mind, you guys would maybe keep tabs on topics like this. So periods where it would be useful for council to submit an opinion to the PSC or whatever. And maybe start to develop, and like I said, I think this is a long-term thing, a concept of what the city's stance should be. Like, what is the, you know, there's the sense of inevitability around AI. What is the ideal scenario look like, that we would want to ask for? So,
And the
you know, are they going to build their own power maybe, you know, like small nuclear
right.
or,
Yeah,
you know, or solar or whatever?
yeah.
They'll still need the water though.
They will still need the
So
water.
the PSC doesn't take into account water at all, right? They don't.
No, but there might be public water rights
Mhm.
opportunities to comment as well. So that would be kind of a separate component of that.
Right. 'cause
And
there's
then
two different things.
a concern for me, and this wasn't under discussion, was, you know, in such a merger like Northwestern and Black Mountain, you're gonna, Black Hills, sorry. You're gonna, the strength, the power of the Public Service Commission to really stand for ratepayers is probably gonna be reduced because now you're part of a larger conglomerate.
Corporate headquarters will be in Rapid City.
Yeah.
56% of the assets are Black Hills.
Yeah, and
44. Northwestern is gonna lose, Northwestern will still exist and Black Hills will still exist.
Mhm.
There'll be an overlying company called Bright Horizons.
Yeah,
But
Bright Horizons Energy
But
Corporation.
you're gonna lose, Northwest Energy is gonna lose some ability to make decisions for its Montana.
Mhm.
So then what would our PSC?
Well, and our
even if
public
they
service
spoke for
com-
people, what
Yeah,
would
exactly.
they?
To the extent that they have any power now, will be
Right.
diminished.
Well, that's that's the good point.
That's a very good point.
But all of that to say,
Mm.
you know, I don't expect you guys to have this be your number one issue or anything, but if someone's, you know, excited about it and interested and wants to keep tabs,
Well, if
and
it-
Look at,
If it comes up at a council meeting, which I guess it will, just say
It might.
sustainability is, discussing and leaning toward, what are we
so
leaning?
short term, if we want to,
Do we want
if we want to submit a letter for this
Do we
FERC
wanna
issue
Mhm.
and/or a letter for the public service on the merger, those
Yeah.
would be the two.
would the council be open to?
I think so. Or at least hearing the recommendation. I think
Yeah.
it would be a recommendation on your part,
Right.
you know, and what that letter should include.
Well, I don't see any reason not to make a recommendation today. I mean,
But Jeremy has a point, because, there are a lot of, quote, facts given in this, proclamation from Brad and whatever his last name is,
Mm.
Randy. Are they correct?
Right.
Are they correct?
We don't want to hitch the public wagon to a thing that might not be.
Right.
Right.
So I think we need to do some fact checking first before we, you know,
could I,
we have learned that from,
but we're running out of time.
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, not just in this room, but
No, I mean, because the
Yeah.
PSC is gonna act
Yes.
probably sooner than later, and.
Okay.
like maybe by the end of the week, who knows?
Maybe they acted this afternoon, we don't
Right.
know, because there's no, they do whatever they want, I mean, they're not held to,
Mhm.
they can choose on how far they go. Just my opinion, I just, as a non-member of the committee, is that, what are the negatives of saying, at this time, we're not in favor of the merger? Because I think if we wait a while, because you can fact check all the things I got, I could fact check again, but I don't see any reason, I don't think it's debatable
Right.
that the purpose of the merger is data centers.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear.
And I don't think the merger is necessarily going to benefit Montanans,
Mhm.
or at least not resident Montanans. I mean, there might be some
Shareholders and-
business people and, yeah, shareholders who will benefit, but the everyday,
Rate payers.
Mhm.
yeah.
Where's Broadwater getting their water? Where do they think that data center's gonna get their
That's an
water?
excellent question.
Is it Broadview?
It's Broadview.
Broadview,
Yeah.
and there is a river through there.
Is that up near
It's at the
the colony?
Is it near Lewistown?
It's not that far, I think it's about 50 miles north of Billings. pretty
There's
well
a
need to go.
Lewistown.
Hope, did you want to make a point about, negatives to the merger?
I think what I'm hearing is there is a time element here, and it is
Yeah.
critical. And just because you oppose it, you do not have to use the information that Brad Molnar gave you if you're not. I know that the mayor felt like he didn't feel that it was valid because he wouldn't even include it in the packet for citizens like me to see. So,
Which I think was a great service that the mayor
but
did.
let others.
But he did, when I texted him and asked if I could share that information with you, he said, yes, it was public knowledge.
He did, but he was given it earlier,
Yeah,
and he
he
did
was-
say
he
he
was-
was going to put it in the packet. But anyway,
Okay,
that's
let's move
neither
on.
here nor there now.
April,
But,
and it was 2 weeks before anything.
I
Here we are,
noticed
May
that too.
18th.
Yeah.
I think you can oppose it, not necessarily using that information that you got. Steve can give you the sites that he went to today, the information that he gathered.
We give that to Jeremy for the council.
He could do that.
Well, even if it's bullet pointed, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're opposed to this for the following concerns. even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the key point.
you know, we're worried about the Public Service Commission's dilution of power. We're worried about impact to ratepayers, or, you know, we could take that kind of.
He's ready to go.
Go ahead, you can turn it off. We can sit here, we can
Okay.
still sit here
Okay.
and talk about this, but she's just gonna turn it off. Thank you very much,
Only Judy Annie on there.
Judy?
I mean, that's the only person.
Okay, sorry, Judy, we have to cut it off. Meeting is
Adjourned.
adjourned.
We'll have to find out who the
Be careful about
mystery Judy is.
Conversation.
Yeah.
But then-
Oh,